Please state your name for the record.
Jim Mannion. Earlier this evening, I'd like to talk to you about the garbage bids. Earlier this evening, you received what I will call sort of an iffy report from the city manager. I have given you information that is documentation straight from the city's website, budget, past budget, and including the 11-16 pre-budget that you did back then. This report compares known city annual operational costs to those of the PDC's guarantees for really 7 years, not 5. There are 2 years that have the same guarantee after the 5 that the city can take options on. So it's really a 7-year plan that PDC offered. Between 2012 and the city's projected costs for 2017 from the November pre-budget, the city costs will have increased for the garbage 72%. That's a annual increase of 14.4%. Remember, these are city records, not mine. Included in these calculations is the $680,000 tipping fee. Not included in the city's operation cost is the unknown cost for replacement trucks. Nobody knows what, from 1 year to the next, how many trucks, if any, that the city's going to need. But counting the 2 trucks planned for this next year, taxpayers in the last 5 years will have paid an extra almost $1 million for trucks in the last 5 years, counting the 2 for this year. However, PDC has included replacement trucks in their operational costs, meaning there will be no surprise extra costs for residents. In the PDC agreement, they have included a guaranteed annual increase of 3.5%. This is at least 4 times smaller than the city's garbage service record. The city recently stated it would need to charge residents this coming year $20.25 just to break even. That's the city's statement. Even if the city lowered the department's planned costs next year from the November pre-budget hearing by half, that would still add over $80,000 to the budget. Even if the city kept the cost the same as this year, the $2.6 million, it's still, compared to the PDC cost that includes the whole ball of wax, yard waste, recycle, the solid waste, garbage, it's still, the PDC guarantee is the $15.90 that you see there in your packet. That's up to 27% less than what the city can do it for, even if they was using this year's figures.
Ms. Mangan, you have 1 minute.
Thank you. The 7-year contract with PDC is far more resident-friendly than can be expected from continuing city garbage service. Also, a large cost concern that you need to think about is, in these past few years, the increase in medical costs to our employees has increased, to the garbage department, has increased 40%. Workman's compensation has increased in those years 48%. Pension costs in those years has risen to 61%. These increases will have serious negative impacts forever on the residents. I urge the council tonight to schedule a vote and vote on the PDC proposal. Thank you.
Thank you. Please state your name for the record.
Yes, my name is Robin Garlish, and I'm a resident of Pekin. Excuse me. Nothing personal against PDC. I just really believe that these jobs should be continue to stay with the city of Pekin. I mean, the whole state of Illinois is in a situation where, need I say more? The whole state is in a situation. And I really feel like if the city could have this contract, it sounds like, and thank you for the basic arithmetic. I haven't had a chance to be here for a while, and it's good to hear some solid, simple facts that I can understand. But I just really, I have met the people that come and do the recycling in my neighborhood, and also am a member of the local and state and national Sierra Club Executive Committee. And I think we're starting to see this as a problem with outsourcing. This has been a problem for a long time. But if you look at the counties around us in central Illinois, we don't pay nothing compared to what they pay. And Peoria is not getting their recycling picked up. I may be wrong on that, but I don't think they're getting their recycling picked up, or maybe it's an extra fee. So we are getting a lot more than any other central Illinois community. And to keep the jobs with a company in the city of Pekin makes more sense than anything else that's going on right now. And also I'd like to maybe come back in the future and talk with some of the high school kids about helping us to find more profitability in the recycling. Because I think that's another thing that we're looking at nationwide. Just got my I-7 ordered today and read about all the recycling on that. I'm like, wow, if we can do that with that, we can do this with the stuff that's in my little box with the red top on it. So I think there's a lot to the local, and like you said, the people that live here. I really think we need to use our local resources. And I think that's all I got. I just want to thank you guys. I really enjoyed being back up here and hopefully not complaining too much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. Please state your name for the record.
Julia Karcher. And first of all, let me start out. I'm probably not going to give the speech that people think I am. I want to apologize, Mayor McCabe. I received a very enlightening and very insightful phone call this morning. And you guys have really picked up a lot of slack for a lot of years. And a lot of things were left on your plate to deal with. And you are trying to the best of your ability. Maybe, we all can try a little bit harder in a lot of things in life, right? So, but you really are trying, and you have a great deal ahead of you. I mean, the very format that people come in and address you is in itself intimidating and very hard to deal with on a daily basis. So I do apologize.
Thank you.
So, yeah, thank you. And I am here in regards to Powerton. And I'm not an eloquent speaker and a public speaker or anything in regards to that. I moved here in December, all health issues aside. The sulfur and all that good stuff defaces property. It's a lot of problem without a lot of profit. Pacific Ethanol is also here, second largest ethanol producer in the country. And then I hear all these budget problems and all this revenue and all the city deterioration, and I see all the trains and all the trucks, and I see they're paying our farmers like 19 cents a bushel. And I see the prices of oil are going up, and ethanol, 80% of it's shipped out of the country. And I just don't understand. I feel like that would be a great resource for us to tap into. There are windows and doors that are opening right now for us, and they're coming right to our town. I went to Willie Nelson this summer, and I picked up the paper, but on the back, look, there's a picture of Pekin, but it says it's steam coming out of the ethanol plant in Powerton. But according to the permits, it's not just steam, and it's their own self-reported stats. And there's more permits coming up, in order to cut some more costs and to make the guys down in Texas more money, they want to start burning tires, throwing tires in there, and some other low-cost fuels. Instead of going with other high-grade emission standards, they've gone with also horrifying, and it's just so out of my element. Back in 2012, they closed 2 plants in Chicago, and I believe that we are making up for those plants here in Pekin. I'm here to invite you guys Wednesday to the library. Central Illinois Healthy Community Alliance and the Sierra Club are going to be there. They have helped a lot of communities in the past, open a lot of doors in a lot of ways. And there's anything that we do have in Pekin, and I will say it's community. People care an awful lot. You guys would not be in these positions had you not cared. I've reached out to Councilman Luft. I didn't even have to bring up getting the water tested. You know why? Because this guy went above and beyond to make phone calls, and they're going to come to my home. Councilman Golden is there to answer my calls. I haven't gotten a hold of you guys yet, but thank you for all you do. And if we could get together and work on the air quality and get all the black stuff off of all the pavements, get our masonry back, thank you.
What time is that meeting at the
It
library?
is at 6:30, January 11th, Pekin Public Library. We hope to have a pretty good turnout. I'm not the professional, but these guys are. They're real great at helping out, find a lot of reclaimed funds and grants and things of that nature to help communities like ours.
6:30 on the 11th.
6:30 on the 11th, Pekin Library. And thank you again, and I do apologize.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else who'd like to address the council, please state your name for the record.
Jennifer Hall. I'd just like to point out that something needs to be done with the recycling center. It's a travesty over there. Every time I've gone over there to do my recycling, and since I don't drive right now and my other half works, so he's one vehicle, my recycling builds up in garbage bags for a minute before I get down there. So I'm already bringing bulk. And when I get down there, it's not just the things are so full that you can't put anything in there, but there's broken glass everywhere, broken mirrors, garbage just everywhere. It's flying around down, and where, in my opinion, I would assume it would end up would be either going down towards the police department and the public aid building, or it would be blowing whichever way the wind is blowing. It would be blowing towards the river, and that's pollution and litter going towards the river. And also, I would like to point out that the river is also a train wreck as far as litter goes. Jim McNish recently just went down there and cleaned it up to perfection. It looked great when he was finished, but the before was a disaster. It was terrible, and it was, to me, unexcusable. Not just because someone from the city hadn't come up, but because the citizens are not stepping up to put trash in the garbage. And it's probably teenagers, but they need to be more respectful of this town. When the weather gets nice, maybe send a patrol car down there to catch teens hanging around down there. That way they can start giving out litter tickets. I mean, I know that's going to come back on the parents, but the parents will start cracking down on their kids. That's pretty much all I got, so thank you.
Thank you. Yes, and I wanted to make mention of the River Fund, and I wanted to give a special thank you to Mr. McNish for the efforts that he made in going to the riverfront, taking his own initiative. I know that Mr. Shaw and his wife are down there as well, and it's very, very unfortunate because the riverfront is one of the places that so many people don't see. And all of us like to think that it's always going to be in pristine condition. It amazes me how you can go down there. I'm sure that if it had been 48 hours after you've been there, I don't know if Mr. went back and looked, but it probably, hopefully it didn't look as bad as it did before it started.
It's the next morning.
The next morning. It doesn't take long, does it, unfortunately? And it sure keeps our city busy. But Mr. McNish is taking it on his own. Tyler Chasko's taking it on his own. A few other people have. I know when I was in high school, when we do the river sweep, I'd get some students from my classes out there, and the ROTC would be there. And it's just an ongoing battle. So all the efforts by all the concerned citizens are greatly appreciated in our riverfront. And hopefully we can all instill in whoever is the culprit, whether it be young or old, could just be a little more respectful of their environment when they're down there using the place. Okay, is there anyone else in the public who would like to address the council?
Larry Wilfer. At a few council meetings ago, the issue of raising the garbage from $12 to $20 a month came up, and it was talked about, and it was also voted down. So it looks like tonight, from what I can comprehend out of Mr. Carson's report on the solid waste garbage pickup, that it was mentioned that in the November pre-budget meetings, that the fee would have to be raised to $20.25 a month. Okay. Now, according to that, and in your pre-budget analysis, there's still gonna be a $1.6 million deficit that is going to have to be taken out of the general fund to subsidize the garbage. Now, how much further is the fee gonna go up per month? Can anyone answer that?
I'm not real sure about your figures, Mr. Wolford, because I don't have all that information in front of me. But in talking to Ms. Holcomb, who was working on the budget at that time, the monthly fee that you quoted was to ensure that we weren't going to continue to go into the red. But she's not here, and so I can't confirm that one way or the other.
Can I stand to correct you? You said Miss Yocum. I think it's Newcomb, sir.
Did I say Yoakum?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Thank you. Yes, it is Ms.